YouTubers, Brian Proctor back again with another video. What is this? This is the action pose position of the week. I think it's number 7 if I'm not mistaken, but anyway, this is more of a foreshortening video. This guy standing in a foreshortened position. I know a lot of people have trouble doing foreshortening, so I did this one and showed you guys a little easier steps. Now I gotta confess that foreshortening is not the easiest thing for me to do as well, but once I get a lot better at it, a lot better at explaining how to do it, I want to do a video for you guys so that you can do more foreshortening. So with that out the way, check this out. All right, so this is going to be a standing position with some foreshortening in it, probably a lot of foreshortening in it. So what is the meaning of foreshortening? I think it's to be able to reduce an object by keeping its essential elements in it, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so this is one of my weaker points, things to do, but I'm going to try to show you because, yeah. So let's just do this. All right. First of all, as I say, you want to start out with an oval, not an oval. You want to do more of a circle, shall we say. Now, foreshortening. Let me jump to this real quick. You want to foreshorten. Let's say you have a snowman. Everybody can draw a snowman. Now, when you take your camera and your camera's pointed right at this snowman, and you want to look down at the snowman, when you do that, it's going to look like this. You have the head. I'm going to put it up here. You have the head. You have this piece, which is going to tuck around that, and you have the bottom, which is going to tuck around that, which gives it that foreshortened look, that overhead look. So that's what you want to do with the figure, basically. So we want to start out with your shoulders, your wide shoulders, and we're going to use guidelines for that later. But the easiest way to do this is start out with this, find out how much you want to tilt it. So, well, go your line, whether it wants to be the center or the side or however. I'm just going to use this one. You want to find out your collarbone, and that determines how much you tilt your character. And that collarbone is a V, which will turn out to be kind of like a diamond almost, but you want to do that V. And again, if I took this as my character, let's say this one, and I took the collarbone and I put it across like that, and I put the head here, he's going to be straight up and down. Now if I took this guy, this here, and I brought the collarbone down just a little bit, make it a V, and I put the head here, he's going to start to lean over. If I took it and I brought the collarbone way down here, and I put the head, he's leaning over a lot more. So that's what we're trying to do. Hopefully you can understand from that scribble. Now a lot of times I'll have my guy, my finished product, he'll be leaning a little more than I want him to, but I can always adjust that. You can always adjust that. So we have this, that, and then you put the head. These are the first 3 steps. This more of a circle, the collarbone, yeah, and then the head, because the neck comes out of a V here at the base, at the point, and up. So you drop your head into your neck however you want it to be, however deep you want it to be, and all that is subject to change because you have your back shoulders here, and where your collarbone hits, your delts are going to go, so you want to curve that around like that. And I'm using red. I usually use blue, but it's hard to see in blue sometimes. And then you want to put your deltoids here. And so this is going to be the center, basically. You're going to put your deltoids here. That's just a circle. Now I tell people, when you draw from a tilted angle, make all this one piece. Keep all that to be one piece. It just makes it easier. Now, from this angle, if I dropped his arms back and dropped his feet back, he'd look like he'd be flying. If I put his hands up here and his arms, he'd look like he'd be flying. So that's something else you can use later in life. But this is the most important part. Get rid of this, and this, and this, because I want this guy to be standing in a standing position. And get rid of this because he looks like he's looking up because of those lines. And as I say, the head is subject to change. We just have to figure out how much we want him to be, us to be looking down on him. So from here, you want to right around, you're not going to see his lats. So you want to put just another half circle here. And that's going to represent the part of the stomach you can see, and then you can do another circle right here. So let's go down here. So these are going to be his abs here. They're going all the way around that back. Now from here, you want to do, just drop this down a little bit. You don't make it too fat. And you're going to do your house, basically. That upside down house. Upside down house, as in, here's a house. We all know how to draw houses from little kid, from being young. That's your house. You're just going to turn it upside down, and that's going to be end up being his, not torso. Is it the torso? I don't know. I can never get these names right. And the legs come out here, and then your stomach is here. Yeah. So and then your waist. Yeah. So that's your, I don't know. No, that's not your torso. That's whatever that is. So that's the little piece we're going to see here. So that part is pretty much done. You don't want to have it come way down like this, because then it looks like he's leaning forward and his legs are straight down on the ground. Something else you could use later too, but just by leaning that. But you don't want to bring this down like that. Because while I got this, since I'm teaching drawing, the typical Wolverine, you know, the Wolverine pose like that when he's leaning over. So as again, you don't want to do that. But just by having this way, there are a lot of options you can use. And this head is still bugging me, so I might drop the head down a little bit more. As I say, it's all subject to change. So we have this, we have that. Now we want to do a line across the crotch, and then one across at the bottom of the chest. Now we have your delts. You're going to do your arms. So that the bicep is going to stop here, right here at this line at the bottom of your chest. Make your arms big enough that you want to have. And then when you do this, draw the circle, or as if this was a cylinder, a see-through cylinder. Draw that see-through cylinder shape. Now, your wrists are going to stop right here. So the reason you drew this is because this is where the back of the other part of the other arm, your forearm, is going to start or stop or start to this point here. Same thing. Like that. Now comes the hard part. Let's see what I can do with this head. Drop the head down a little bit more. And then I forgot about your shoulders. Your shoulders are like that. Collarbone. Your shoulders come back around behind the neck. Or your traps, shoulders. Now this is, as I say, is the hard part from here. You're going to have your legs. You don't want your legs straight down like that because it looks like he's standing. So you're going to have to, just like the snowman that we did, you're going to have one come from behind the other. So you're going to have to work with this to see how long you want the leg without making it look like he's leaning over. So I'll usually play with that. I'll bring my legs out, play with that. And the leg will actually, well, it depends on how much he leans over. So right now I'm just kind of playing with it to see how far it's going to come down. So you want to have that line wherever it comes down at. Same way we had this, because the hands are going to go, if you do this again, this circle, this is where the back of your hands will start, however you want your hands. So now with this, your other part of your leg is going to come from behind that as well. So this is again why you do that. But you have to have these in proportion, not too far up, not too far back. And then you do one leg, let's just say here. And then you step back and look at it. But remember, they have to narrow out. So you don't want it too fat. Your legs narrow out, and that's how something looks like it's going back in the distance by narrowing. Let's just say I have this crazy shape and I make it go narrow like this. That makes it look like it's going back in distance, further back in distance, or up and down. Somebody could be standing up here, and somebody could be standing down there, and it makes it look like it's going back or up and down the distance. So same thing with this. Even though these thighs are fat, these calves have to be narrow or not come out of the narrow area. Are you losing it again, Brian? Are you losing that ability to talk? So let's see this. And a lot of this is feel. It's how you decide to have your character. So we have that one fat piece of muscle that comes up here. And let's say this is the center of your leg. Comes up here. The other piece is up here, leaving that V. So your knee is going to be touching this piece here and going into that diamond shape. Got it right. And then your shin. So coming back here, some of your calf is going to be back here. Start back here, come down like that. So if that looks good to you, let's put the other one there. It comes back here. Well, let me draw where I want the leg. Calf here, comes around and down, stopping on that same line. And my foot. And that foot would stop on the same line too if he's kind of standing at attention, shall we say. Now what I can do is round this out more and round the stomach out more to give it that look. Instead of making it flat, I can bring this in a little bit. And then hopefully I'm not dropping it below where my camera set. Get rid of that. Remember, that's a V. That's always a V, and your muscles come out like that for your forearm. And once you get that, then the rest is just adjusting. Let's get rid of this, this. This arm is out more, which is fine. And that foot. Now, I'm not liking this, so let's bring the legs and the hips in a little bit more. Make the legs a little smaller, as shall we say. And then that waist a little smaller. Always remembering the roundness. Better, but that head, something about that head. This is why I don't like using red when I first start, because I draw a lot of lines. Better, but the legs, I'm really not liking the legs. I might have to pull the legs back a little bit more. Let me try this. Let me not make this so long. So make this more rounder like that. And as I said, you have to play with your legs. And then let's bring the calf back. Let's just make another circle here for the calf, and then the line for the foot, for the ankle, and then bring the foot out. And I can always make that a little bigger. And that one is a lot better than that one. So you just want to do your oval, another oval behind here, just like the snowman, and then this little piece here for the where your ankle is, shin, your shin. So your knee is going to be tucked under basically, because you have that muscle, that fat muscle. The one on the inside actually rests on the knee. You have the higher one, you have that V here, and you have that higher muscle here. So your knee is going to be kind of tucked under there, and then your knee goes into your shin, and then your calf, and then straight down like that to give it better. Now this, it kind of looks like he's walking. If I brought the leg out more and bent the knee, he would have that walking position, but we're not trying to go for the walk. And as I said, this one to me is one of the harder ones to do, because a lot of times I want him to have a sharp angle, but then that angle won't come out. I'll get it in the end, but I have to keep working on it to get it the way I want to. So again, straight line for the knee, so you know where the calf ends, straight line for the ankle, and then go there again. The leg, it's an oval, keeping in mind the leg shape. Your oval again, which was where? Which was right here. It doesn't count, it doesn't make a difference where it goes back, just as long as it's here. And then let's see, you want your legs and your ankles going to be here, so you want to do this. Do that. My line might be crooked because I always draw crooked lines. So you have this there, this, and then that. So you want to shape that down. And your ankle stops here, and then your foot. And artist preference. The foot can come out like that. Then you can adjust the weights a little bit more if you choose. So let me ink this and see exactly how this comes out, and if I have to make any changes or not. Ankle. And I think I got it. Remember, this actually comes up. This your delts actually curve into your chest, and your back, your neck, which is going to be, this curves up. Remember, this curves up around your neck, and you have this little piece here, this little upside down V, because of the skin that actually pushes in, or that indentation. Take this out some more. I don't want him to look like he has his shoulders back. Just being picky right now. And the same thing with the arms. Since I brought this up, I can bring the arms up as well. My eraser. And as I was saying, everything's subject to change. Not so much bring the arms up, but bring the arms back. Let's drop this arm to make it more uniform. But still, it's going to be around the chest. And then this one stopped about right here. So, because this going backwards, this is going to be in front of that, is what I'm trying to say. And because it's going down, you don't want it, again, you want it to come in like a funnel. All these things just keep in mind as you're drawing. If you're looking at it and something's wrong, just think about the wideness of it. You want it to come all out like a V. I could bring that back a little bit more, and this is just being picky now. And then just give some type of hand. And as I said, you gotta look over everything. The inner leg, the outer muscle, the knee is about right. It's tucked up under that. The little diamond, even that knee has to be on line. Everything has to be on line unless this person is walking or running or something like that. But if you're standing at attention, you have to have everything lined up or it's going to go off. It comes in and around like that, and it goes out. Same thing with this. Comes in and the calf is around it like that. This. Like so. So it's the little small things that make your drawing a little better. So even that hand could be a little bigger, smaller, a little bigger. So let's ink this and see what we have. Ink brown. And remember, your knees are going to come more out to the side, not just in the middle. Yeah, so let's ink this and then see what I have. And your abs, your line. I keep saying I'm going to ink it, but I keep finding things to add, to touch up. And then you know you have your love handles right here. So, all right, stop saying let's ink it and let's just ink it. All right. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this one. Let me give you guys a close-up to see some of what I've done. I've even turned it sideways to give you a more of a close-up. But come on. Oh, that's as far as it'll go. Okay, turn it back. So yeah, by following these guidelines or those steps, I think you'll be able to do it. And I showed you some, just getting this top part right gives you a lot of room to do a lot more different drawings. And just remember, depends on how low you put the collarbone, determines how much that person is going to be leaning over, and how far you put the legs. Also, it all changes from this. That's why one reason this is it's hard for me to talk. That is one reason why doing this is hard for me to do. I get it in the end, but usually, as I say, the tilt of it usually ends up coming out wrong the first time, so I have to keep working at it, but just get the top part right, like I showed you. Get your head in a good position, and then the rest should come out. Start shrinking, do more ovals instead of cylinders, and then hopefully the legs and the rest will come out as well. So that's going to be it for this drawing, and I want to do a video on foreshortening as soon as I can better explain it to you and do it at the same time. I'll get a video out on that. So with that one, this is going to be the end of this particular video, and hopefully you guys get something out of it to be able to take home with you in your next drawing. So as I erase, I will say my goodbyes, and I will see you guys in the next video. I am out.